Okay, so I created, as the creative director, as the MD of Empower Impact, created the Impactivator, and one of the things that we did was try to engage, donors with extremely stylistic content, extremely engaging content using my skills, things I've done before, projection mapping, we thought, VR or 360 animation. And we indeed, through my friend Camille, who's a professor at Royal College of Art, she introduced me to a student, Finn, Chinese guy, who helped me with this project. Amber Heard did, she was like the producer on it. I guess I spoke to her every day. So I came up with a full idea and then I worked on it. I worked on visuals, I worked on graphics, I worked on print, I emailed all the people, did all of the stuff. Musk and I went over we drove over on some industrial ferry. It was completely nuts. I guess he tries to avoid people. To Amsterdam, and he helped me put it up. I have video footage of him helping me set up the show. We had one of his good friends, Marinka, who played the piano, so the visuals went along with the musician. It wasn't really like she was the star of the show. It was their cause. She's classical pianist. And then we had visuals along with it, and it was all about the number of civilians who had died in the Palestinian conflict, and they weren't necessarily Palestinian, of course. And it was like UN data or whatever. I have the full thing of how to do it. Whoops. Hi. And I did used to support the BDS, the sanctions and stuff. I'm Bangladeshi. A lot of my Bangladeshi friends did it. But as I became more politically involved, knowledgeable, I realized I knew very little about the situation. And I didn't. And anyway, we had the event. We all did readings. I have a copy of all of this. I personally didn't want the video of it published. We recorded the whole event. I have little bits of it on my website. And I said to Musk, I know this is going to bring in a lot of funding, whatever. But we invited religious leaders of all faiths to come and talk at the event, and they didn't come. And I just said, this is too provocative what we're doing. And I know he loves doing all this provocative stuff. It was actually a peace thing. It was supposed to be softly peace thing. But because of all of his other stuff, it was obviously super provocative. And so I just refused to edit the movie that we have of it. It's like an hour and 44 minutes or something. He has the raw footage as well. It's just a musician playing and then us doing some talks about peace in front of an audience in a cathedral. It's not a big deal. But given who he is, given who I am, I just said, I'm not having this published. What I did say to him, because we were talking about, honestly, he lives in a fantasy world, but we were talking about what would happen, what if we got married, what would it be like? And I suggested we would have like a equivalent to a UN conference, actually, where it wouldn't really be a wedding, but it would be more, we'd just have loads of world leaders there, and they'd be given problems to fix, literally there. That would be their dinner table thing, icebreaker. Obviously that never happened. So this is the bigger story. You can ask people at the cathedral. You can blooming phone them up. You can phone up the guy at the cathedral and ask him who was the artist, who was the creative director, who, was in touch with him. You can ask the musicians. Musk was supposed to pay those musicians. He never did. And you wouldn't even know which musicians played either. Only the people who were there would know. It was a very private, the actual audience was a very private thing. I think it was his family and his family's close friends. I know it caused a lot of excitement because it was a cool thing. It was a cool way to do it. Anyway, that's that story. There's no conflicting stories on it. You can literally phone up the cathedral guy and ask him. Literally just phone him up. He works for the church. I'm not sure he's not going to lie. Just ask the guy up. My goodness.